All right, everybody. Welcome to level session 11 of
I'll go to level 11. It'll just take me a couple minutes.
uh session 11 of Planescape, The Weight of Doors. Uh I know people probably don't really remember much, but is there anything that people do remember from last session?
So I might be a little unclear on what was last session and what was like the session before that, but I remember we were still trying to get into the church and still a little confused about what was going on with respect to the Athar and the church, and whether or not the Athar had come into conflict with the signers at some point, as we were told. And so we were going to get Cadeau to basically take on the role of a real estate bro and go and meet, what was his name?
Cruigh Manathas.
That's it. Cruigh Manathas, I think is what his
Manathas.
name was. So he was going to go pose as somebody who might be interested in buying property here in the city because Krug had suggested that that's more his interest than anything particular with respect to the church. It was more like unloading it and finding a buyer. So we were essentially going to disguise Cadeau as somebody like that. We didn't go all the way back to the office. We were at that bar, the Ubiquitous Wayfarer, where we were just going to spend the night so that we didn't lose a bunch of time traveling back and forth. We met some woman whose husband had died, and she came back a lot like that other guy, except rather than joining the Dustmen, he had joined the Harmonium and seemed to have forgotten everything about her. And it kind of seemed like, at least I remember my character was like, this has nothing to do with this was our last mission, and now we're on a completely different investigation. So she's on her own, but I forget who. Someone in the party still was sort of interested in what it was she was looking at. I think it was Chaz was interested in helping her out, so he listened to her whole story. A bunch of us went to bed. She opened up a bit. Cadeau wound up following her home, but not too much came of that. We then stayed overnight at the inn. The next morning, she came back and we got a picture of the guy. And Cadeau taught himself how to like transform into the image of the guy. I don't remember why. I don't remember us telling her we were going to investigate the disappearance of her husband, but we probably did. And so might be helpful if we could have somebody who looked like him. But he's out there somewhere and alive. He just doesn't remember her. It reminds me like a little bit of what was the name of the movie? There was some movie where it was like a cult movie, Phantasm, where they were like stealing bodies from the graveyard and repurposing them, although they were repurposing them into little dwarves, little evil attacking dwarves. Except now they're repurposing the dead into followers of different factions for some reason, and wiping all of their memories. So after that, we went to like a magical tailor shop where there were these three, I think, brothers who uh, outfitted Cadeau so that he would look like a wealthy real estate bro. Um, I don't think we actually found Krug. At least I don't remember. We went out to like canvass the neighborhood. We mostly found out that there really hasn't been any conflict between the Athar and anyone. So, and that apparently, even though like when we tried to go into the temple, uh, we got stopped immediately, and they seemed obvious enough to us. Most people are unaware that the Athar are staking out that temple and keeping people away. So we don't really know what our clients' problem is with the Athar, but it's apparently not the threat of actual danger or actual conflict between them and the signers. Um, that's pretty much what I remember.
I remember um, there was like the Dabas were
Oh, that's
boarding
right.
up a building.
Right. And we were unsure why.
Yeah, no
And
indication
they
there was,
were
but there's every indication that there were people still inside.
right. There were clearly people screaming and being walled up inside. So something wrong with the portals, presumably, that they were trying to shut down by walling everything up. And somebody like
Contain
dangled
something.
an infant or toddler or something out the window, and Uthermath, even though Uthermath had like no interest in interfering with this, Uthermath went and caught the kid. Uh, and then, as he was having his dreams of Uthermath Jr. and teaching him magic, uh, some guy who I presume was a father, but who knows, came up and took him, destroying Uthermath's family.
We suspect the Dabus were trying to contain something within.
Um, yeah, it didn't, and also you guys did notice that Dabus didn't seem to react to the child having left the building.
Right.
Um, so a couple of other things from last session that you guys that would have been important as you did as you were kind of canvassing the area and gathering information, it became apparent that the church was pretty much overlooked until recently. Like a lot of people didn't like talked about not even realizing there was a church there until a few days ago. That they just kind of sort of overlooked it. But they also realized seeing it there that they remember it's been there the whole time, just never noticed it. Um, the the Athar presence is not really well known. Like it's not openly apparent that the Athar have taken over the church. There's been no reports of any kind of violence tied to the church, its location or anything. Um, Somebody did die relatively recently in the area, although it's unclear what the circumstances were, whether it was illness, natural causes, violence. Um, the Chaz managed to learn that, yeah, people didn't really realize that the Aether were there. Um, More people just kind of confirming they hadn't really noticed the church until recently. Uh, no one has heard about people dying and returning to join other factions. Uh, and the idea of people dying and returning from the dead kind of confuses people because petitioners are known to exist. Petitioners are essentially when people die somewhere else and their souls travel to a different plane of existence and they kind of exist there, not really alive, but also not completely gone. But petitioners don't ever really appear in Sigil with one known exception. They're the only person that's ever been known to be a petitioner of Sigil. Um, and then additionally,
Was
just some
was
oh
Dobrun in the Gilded Angle last session or the session before?
Session before.
Okay.
yeah, so a couple of things to just kind of jog people's memories too of how we've gotten to this point. Originally, Ben and Maul hired the group to seek out Eliath, where you guys had an encounter with the Shadow Knave and where uh Uthermeth's friend at the gatehouse had talked about people dying under mysterious circumstances, and you guys had like noticed that people were dying without any kind of outward cause. Um, Seems to have been tied to the Shadow Knave because of the proximity to the one death that you saw to his presence. Um, Additionally, it seems like Eliath had something to do with the Isle of Black Trees. You guys did find Eliath, but he seemed to be changed. He did have memory of his previous life, but he seems to have had some kind of spiritual experience that where he took on a new name and a new role within the um what is there what is that faction called? The Doom Guard. Um
And
and
then we got him
he
we got him arrested by killing a bunch of his friends.
Dobrun crushed some guy's head. But he the he is supposed to have known the location of the Isle of Black Trees. He acknowledged that he read something that indicated where it was, but that's what caused him to kind of become barmy. And the only thing that he could remember was that the Isle of Black Trees could be located through the Lizzie Midland Lizzie Midland slums. Uh, and and then after that, you guys had the vision with the jackal-headed god, um, and being seemingly in a battle with demons on the body of a dead god. Then after that, you woke up in your at the office, and Sareth Velmora is the individual that asked you to investigate the stuff going on at the church, stating that there was violence going on between the Athar and the signers. Um,
That is true. Also, after the Eliath thing, there was a period of time that we just lost
yeah.
where we woke up in the office and apparently we had requested our prior client, Bendon Mall, come and meet with us, but nobody remembers that.
Hmm.
There's also the mystery of why uh, the Blue and True Detective Agency seems like it should have two founders when clearly there was only Uthermeth.
Right.
Yep. Uh and um and so Sareth Vilmore is the one that sent you on uh this situation. Uh you guys did encounter an individual by the name of Hoolister who had a thing for Rian that Dobrun kind of scared off uh because he seemed to be asking questions that indicated some kind of something that he just didn't want to deal with. Um, and then there's also you did overhear that somebody had mentioned that there was going to be a somebody told you that they overheard a conversation where a person that identified themselves as uh Elkis, uh a half-elven woman, uh was that there was a signer plot to attack the church within a week. Um you guys also had some interesting encounters at the um the Hall of Records, where you guys got caught up in a lot of bureaucracy and the buying and selling of debt, trying to get information. Um, the Hall of Speakers, where you got to see the bureaucracy of people talking to complain about civic issues and the creation of laws. Um,
That's true. We could just sit back for a couple months and see what comes of that.
And then also, Kido, you know that when you had fallen into the sewer, outside of the Gilded Angle, at one point your cranium rat had noted the presence of others, and because of that, their intelligence expanded, and they were able to kind of actually form legible thoughts in your mind. And he or she, I don't know what gender your cranium rat claims, but
Doesn't
they
matter to me.
they leapt off of you to join in the frenzy that they seem to be feeding off of something. But when you had lit the area to see what was there, um they had already scattered and there was nothing there. Like there wasn't even a drop of blood that you could see. Um and yet your cranium rat seemed to be able to mentally communicate the a feeling of satiation. Uh
They
and
fed on something there.
yeah.
Don't know what.
And uh Uthermeth, give me an investigation check. Okay. So, you guys have just finished experiencing it's still the middle of the day. Uh, Only moments ago, Uthermeth saved the child falling from the building where the Dabus seemed to be boarding it up despite all of those residents still trapped within. Um, People screaming and crying, and you could tell people want to intervene, but they also know the consequences of intervening in Dabus business as it will draw the attention of the lady. And so they're sitting helplessly and just watching and saying their goodbyes to their loved ones who they don't know if they'll ever be able to make it out. Because the Dabus seem to be doing a very thorough job in bricking up this building. It seems like whatever it is they're doing is meant to last. And yes, the child's father did come to collect their child and smash Uthermeth's dreams.
Right. Maybe, Father. Who knows? Some guy wanted a baby.
Have to go to the sigil version of Mori.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's a devil. It's for sure a devil, right?
We should save those people
How?
by.
I do not want to make enemies of the Dabus.
It's a quick way to end your existence.
And if they're walling this up, they must have some reason.
I mean, I suppose I'll take your word for it. I'm
We
not
have only two
familiar with
options.
this lady.
We have two options. We stay out here where we know we'll live, at least for now, we try and go in. Maybe the Dabus don't like it. We die. Maybe they don't care. Then we're in there. And they're not going to stop just because we went through.
Well, what if we just bust some people out? If they're breaking up the building, maybe it's the building that's the problem and not the people inside.
I suspect that's true, but I would assume that they really want to stop people from using portals. As what would there possibly be inside the building that mortar and stone would stop? If we were to bust people out, I feel like they would react poorly to that.
I think Cadeau might just like try and clear his mind. It's like, I don't know, maybe I can figure it out.
If only we could talk to the Dabus.
Oh, yes. So Kudo used his magical or his ability to speak with the tailor's tailor. And as a result, has exhausted his ability to speak with others.
Right.
So there was some offer made for you to like sacrifice yourself to get another action point. I don't remember the specifics anymore.
The specifics, I believe.
I vaguely remember. Hey, if you want this, or if you want to try, you got to offer up 5 sessions worth of action points.
I think it was 3.
I'm pretty sure it was 5. I'm not one to be dramatic. That's not my style, but I'm pretty sure it was fucking 5.
It might have been.
Yeah. Something stick out. I don't even remember what it was for, and I was like, no fucking way in hell can I survive a session with you without those. Sometimes I don't survive it with them, even though I have them. So, you know.
To be fair, this is session 11. We've had 1 combat.
Yeah. Yeah. That could change it.
Yeah. But
we could decide to try and get inside that fucking building.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys want a combat, it's not hard to start one.
Also, to be fair, it's brand new session. You could use your action point right now and then just risk the rest of the session going without one.
I don't think. I think I was supposed to offer up the five sessions worth to be able to use that ability again. I think that's what it was.
No, I think it was for the action point to be able to like essentially borrow against the future with interest.
Dobrun activates his medallion of thoughts to listen to the surface thoughts of the Dabus. The Dabus.
Don't try and read their mind, man.
Okay, well, here's the question: as Dobrun did it without like saying anything.
He did. He's just gonna do it without saying anything. He doesn't know who these Dabus are.
Okay.
Kiddo was just wanting to sit here for a moment and see if he can find some wavelength that he can maybe perceive the will of the lady.
He's not gonna like push deeper into their thoughts. He's just looking to collect the surface level.
Okay, so then can you post the detect thoughts spell?
Give me a minute to find your detect thought spell.
Oh, let me get it then.
Yeah, I don't have the actual text of the spell.
For the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast a spell as your action, and on each turn until your spell ends, you can focus on the mind of any creature within 30 feet. Uh, okay. Dobrun, give me an insight check.
Wow, that's actually pretty good.
Assuming you want high.
I forgot about that rule.
So you attempt to read the surface thoughts of the Dabus, and it is just absolute chaos. The thoughts that they have are in shifting sigils and or glyphs that don't have any linguistic counterpart that you're familiar with. It doesn't seem like writing, but it also doesn't quite capture being described as a picture. But they also carry emotions that are alien to your understanding and consciousness. Um, what you do gather is if you were to push further into the mind of the Dabus, it would be potentially overwhelming.
Based off of the taste of chaos that I've gotten.
Yes.
And he wouldn't do that.
Good choice.
And he doesn't, Dobrin to everyone else just looks like he's concentrating. His brow is furrowed in the direction of the Dabus, but he's not saying anything.
His trunk is a little curl to it.
Yeah.
It's fine because Cadeau was doing the same thing. Like as far as like just standing there.
I mean,
People
I
wanted
would
to
look back at Dobrin and say, apparently we could encourage them to leap out the windows on the higher floors and try to catch them. The Dabus didn't stop the toddler from falling, or me from saving the toddler.
So something about that. The windows of the buildings are too small for a person to actually get through because of the geometry of the windows. Like one window is made of sections where each apartment that occupies that space is assigned one of those sections. So there's on average about 6 sections to a window that are kind of small, thin rectangles. So on the outside, you see large windows that are broken into these segments. From inside the building, you would just see one thin window that is not possible to really get through unless you're the size of a toddler.
Which that one guy had. Or that one woman, maybe?
Woman, yeah.
Uthermouth Jr. could have had 2 dads. We don't know.
My 2 dads.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Cadeau would just be trying to see if he could get on their wavelength, try to receive is like try and clear his mind as much as possible and see if he could try and perceive any sort of mental wavelength that the lady might be putting out. He's probably done this a lot, though.
As a player, what are you imagining that you're trying to do or locate? Or like what do you imagine this working out as?
I don't know. I think it's like an attempt to reach out. He's not like telepathic or anything. All he really has to do anything with is magic. So maybe a sort of a sense of the magic in the air. Maybe it affects it. I mean, the lady is rather powerful. Surely anything she does ripples through magic somehow. But I've just not found the frequency. Who knows?
Okay, so you're trying to essentially, if I'm understanding you correctly,
Trying to radio in.
right, but it's not in a way where you're trying to directly communicate with the lady.
Correct.
But
Right.
just
I'm just
more
trying to get
to
receive the signal. That's all.
okay.
I assume I again because Cadeau doesn't know that much. He's pretty young himself. He doesn't know how they know what to do. He assumes then that there's some sort of something sent to them telling them what to do from the Lady of Pain, and Lady of Pain so powerful she does this to every Daba everywhere at all times, sort of thing. That's what he just assumes. So he just wants to like see if he can dip his head into that whatever that is. That's what he's tried that many times, never succeeded, obviously.
Give me an Arcana check with disadvantage.
Let me double check my spells, make sure I don't have anything to help me here. Maybe I use I'll use 2 sorcery points perhaps to do my I'll sort of channel the spell energy, like the energy it takes to obscure presence. Maybe I'm too physically here. Maybe I gotta sort of almost disappear. So like kind of hope maybe I mean I assume there's a shadow enough to attempt to do that, but I don't know. Maybe that'll affect me somehow, but
Okay.
Hopefully it's high.
we'll have the disadvantage. So
You can spend the 2 sorcery points. Roll
I
a
did.
d4.
Maybe use your cranium rat as an antenna.
I don't know. Maybe the cranium rat figures it out. Maybe I was missing the cranium rat. I couldn't do it before.
Would you like to use an action point?
Would
If
it
you
help me?
so, I think that this is a rule that's in the actual written, but I think that it's something that we've kind of ignored. If you use an action point on a roll that you have disadvantage on, it cancels out the disadvantage.
I see.
So you'd be able to re-roll it without the disadvantage.
I see. So I use the action point. I roll again. Straight roll. I mean, sure. How many opportunities you get? Arcana. Low, right?
Okay. So for Cadeau, the experience is different, but for everybody else, you see Cadeau suddenly go limp and fall to the ground. Uh, his cranium rat as he does that, his cranium rat begins to kind of rub itself over his body. Um, kind of like when a dog finds a dead bird and they try to roll on it. Um, Tony, I'm gonna send you a message.
I mean, Dobrun would like rush down to attend him. Chaz, bathe him with your glory. Maybe it'll make him come to his senses.
Part of his plan.
I do all this just for the chance of being bathed in his glory.
Joe passes out. He sees like a white light that's like fluttering past his eyelids, and it's Chaz.
Yeah, my eyes barely peek open. It's Chaz, clear as day. Everything else
Yeah.
is blurry. Oh.
Am I in heaven?
I would probably have like taken out a torch to put it in his mouth because I assume you're having a seizure. You just fell over. So something so that you don't bite your tongue.
How about the shadow stuff too? Is that like on me? The obscure, I mean, it's obscure presence. I don't know how I imagined it being sort of almost phasic, maybe, or I suppose it could be shadow. I don't know. In this particular case, I don't know exactly how you want to flavor the lady's power.
Oh. So what was Cadeau trying to do?
The intent was, well, everybody was like, what, if we could just maybe figure out why they're doing this, we could come up with a different solution or something. So Godot was just trying to see if he could tune into the radio,
I
like
see.
listening in on the police scanner, right?
Makes sense. Does anybody like seem to take notice of us?
No, nobody is taking notice of you.
My presence is obscured.
Check, is Cadell still alive?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
If I'm fully unconscious, I think my form might revert to like neutral.
What does this neutral form look like?
Like as plain as possible, like barely humanoid. Like it's got the eyes, it's got the nose, it's got the mouth, but there's no color to them.
Gray is a color.
Yeah, sure. It's a shade. He is a shade. A shade of gray closer to white.
So this is Cadeau's true form.
Okay. Send.
And changelings are usually depicted as having only like a hint of a nose, like an anime character.
I just imagine like two slits.
So like Voldemort.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit like Voldemort. Except that you could tell that like he had a nose there. You can't tell that.
So, Kido falls to the ground. Um, and some people in the crowd notice. They may come walk over, and a couple of people ask, "Is are they all right?"
Yes, but they have become rather unremarkable.
Unremarkable?
Yes, he looks down and does not elaborate further. Thank you for your concern. You
I
must.
grimace at the cranium rat rubbing itself on Cadeau.
As long as it doesn't start eating him.
Okay. I have read this.
I acknowledge receipt.
Can I interact with anything here?
No, once your understanding of what I've written uh comes upon you, it is as fleeting as a dream. Your eyes begin to open, your senses return, and it is a struggle to hang on to what you've experienced. You do get to maintain it to the degree that I sent you the message, but it seems as if you were to let it go from your mind for even a moment, you might forget that it ever happened.
Okay. Um, there's no way that kiddo doesn't have some kind of notebook. It's gotta like be able to write down people's names and stuff.
I mean, you would know that I always carry an ink and paper to write things down.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I imagine I probably wake up like stretching out, reaching, and as soon as I like focus and see everybody, my face immediately returns back, like in an instant. Can you give me your pen?
I will give you my, I don't know what I write with actually, whatever comes in one of the kits.
I will attempt to write down everything that I can recall.
Okay.
Can I copy and paste this, or is this fading too?
Uh, if you want to copy and well, wait a minute. When you mean copy and paste it, do you mean copy and paste it into the chat for everybody to see, or for your own
Yeah, or
notes?
at least most of it. What I feel is appropriate.
I mean, you can share what you want with the others. I mean, it's your information now, so how you use it is up to you.
Okay, just checking because
Mhm.
I want to write. I'm writing something down, and then this is this is basically the sense of it, I guess. Uh, I'll see if I can paraphrase. Maybe I could just paraphrase.
Okay.
It's being character, huh? So kiddo just starts writing.
Have you experienced a vision? Do you have head trauma?
No.
Actually, as he says that, you notice that actually you do have kind of a lump on the back of your head.
Yeah. I fucking fell over.
You need to wash your new clothes. Your rat rubbed himself all over you after you fell.
I look to him and like just kind of reach out.
Oh
What's up,
yeah, the
buddy?
minute that you woke up, he stopped and just kind of went to his normal tendencies.
Yeah. He would pat him. Thanks, buddy. Let's see here.
I will pick up my torch that I assume he spat out.
So
I took a bite.
Peter, what's Chaz doing as all this is unfolding?
Well, he's a bit repulsed at the fact that this rat has rubbed his self all over Cadeau, and just trying to figure out what Cadeau is doing since he is alive. I guess he's assuming he's doing something.
Yeah, but I grabbed some, something to write with and some paper from Uthermeth and just turned right over and started writing where I was, wherever I fell.
So he gets all these expensive new clothes and now he's just laying on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Wait, no, wait, I'm not still wearing them, am I? I thought I'm wearing regular clothes right now.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, because you guys didn't. Wait a minute. Did you rest or when was the tailor?
I was like before
I think
this.
right, I think the tailor was after we rested. That was my recollection, but I could be mistaken.
I think we went from Taylor to this.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So you're not wearing it. You have it, a bag with the new clothes and everything. I'm still here. I'm just getting some more popsicles / ice cream.
if it seems we can't, I guess, uh, uh, Dobrun will, come closer and say, "You inside, jump out before you get boarded up. I'll catch you."
Right. The problem is that the windows that they have that are still open are too small.
Only only tiny children can be tossed out the window. Throw us your babies.
And your smaller halflings.
Yeah. Mm.
We could always return later and break into the building. The people inside will not starve immediately.
If we would draw the ire of the lady now, wouldn't we draw the ire of her watchful eye if we undo her handiwork?
I expect we would, but we would not be killed in the process of breaking in. I have never seen a Dabus fight, and I don't know how strong they are, but I assume they are capable.
Hmm. I'm not particularly eager to make new enemies. But if we can return at a later point. And hopefully it is unguarded.
Kiddo like sits up. Oh, picks up the paper. It's kind of as good as I can remember it. I'm not that great with words.
So you show this to everybody?
Yeah, I'll let them read if they want.
Have
Well,
you
that certainly makes sense given the nature of portals, but what is the scary thing?
I don't know. Something else.
Something not connected to portals?
Just beneath it all.
Might not
It's
that be the influence of the lady?
very scary.
The Lady of Pain is very scary.
No, she's not.
I beg to differ.
It's in the name of pain.
She was the first thing I saw when I got here.
But perhaps you are sensing something more fundamental about her nature.
Wait a minute. You've seen
Hmm.
the
Yeah. She looked at me. Just a glance.
Is that all it took?
Yeah. It was a funny thing. Parts of my skin were flayed, torn open, no blood.
You've healed nicely, that being the case.
Yeah. But that happens anytime I get stabbed or slashed. Well, I haven't been stabbed before, but I've certainly cut myself. I never bleed.
I think this
Kiddo.
sharing is all really nice. Excellent, bro. Really dig it, but some stuff you might want to keep to yourself.
Why is that? Is there something you think this is unusual?
Um, well, yeah, the whole flay thing, not bleeding,
Yeah.
bro. That doesn't sound normal.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's not normal.
I thought when
It's
you
all
said
right.
scary, bro, I thought you said something about, I thought you were talking about like humidity because it's hell on hair, man, bro. It's the worst.
I perhaps if you saw it, it would be perceived that way. I don't know.
Kiddo, give
But to
me a
me, it felt like I it would tear me apart little
Like
by
split
little.
ends.
Make me a what?
make me a wisdom check.
Just a regular old wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay.
New message.
Okay.
Do you remember anything about the specific geometry of all these nodes?
It moved. Everything moved.
So it was a dynamic geometry.
I suppose I didn't get a great look at anything. It was I saw more. I This is all I can remember.
My parents wanted me to be a geometer wizard, but I followed my dreams.
What did you become?
Generalist wizard.
And how did they take it?
Oh, not very well. My brother was even more of an outcast as he merely became a warrior. So their hopes of having a geometer in the family were crushed.
Well, you could always have children.
That is true. I could someday have children and encourage them to become geometers. But I probably would tell them to follow their dreams as well.
Nice. I'm gonna wrap that up and store that piece of paper.
So did you get a sense that the scary thing underlying the portals was an entity or something else?
I can't tell. I don't know. Something frightening, and obviously below. So I suppose looming might be a good word for it.
And was it something separate from the geometry?
I just got the sense of below. I don't know if I could tell a span size. I don't know if it's limited by that. I don't know.
I am curious as to whether or not it is something from which the geometry expands outward or something separate from the geometry.
It's all foreign language to me. I guess I kind of get it. Not everything. Not
Perhaps
like
next
you.
time we should perhaps next time we should all try to connect to this network.
It's
Although we do
okay.
not all have a psionic rat. Perhaps
Hey,
we should all collect psionic rats.
I think that would be great. They would get smarter. I saw it happen. They can link up to other rats and they get smarter. We all get one. This would be great. As long as we stick close to each other, at least. I think there's like a distance limitation.
So is there anything we can do? Besides wait and come back?
Uh, if this is such a building as would, I wonder, what if it's moving? Everything was in motion, right? The buildings are part of the nodes. If it moves, perhaps they board this part up. Otherwise, we get obliterated or something. Those people are probably totally fine.
Raised an eyebrow. I don't. I hardly doubt it, but
This all seems feasible to me. I don't know.
And you did not get any sense of what was going on with this building or whether it was connected to the scary thing underpinning the geometry.
Uh, I'm lucky I remember what I do. It's like a dream, like it fades. That's why I wrote that down.
it makes sense.
I'm happy to sit here and watch them continue this if you really want, or we can go somewhere else. Because I don't think we could do anything here.
I am curious to see if there is anything different that happens at the end of the process,
Sure.
or if all they do is seal off the entrances and then leave. So yeah, I would just stay to watch what it is they're doing and what seems to be the end point for them where they feel satisfied.
So the Dabus, and this is something that each of you has potentially seen at some point in your travels among Sigil, but they are incredibly proficient at building structures. And so what you see them doing is they have, and this building, it is its own building, so it's not touching any other structure. And what they're doing is they are they're bricking it up with massive boulder-sized like bricks, probably 500-pound plus rocks, and uh probably about 4 feet deep at least. And they're going around the building, building this thick rock layer around the building.
Yeah, maybe they build more doors and then they come back through those ones.
Well, it doesn't look like they're building doors. The longer you watch, they're just completely covering the building as uniformly as possible in this massive brick with mortar. And in places, they seem to be reinforcing some of it with metal bars, driving the metal bars into the rocks to kind of even further reinforce the structure.
So it's like an external shell to the building.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose here's a
And
question then.
have we ever heard of them doing anything similar anywhere else, or is this the first time we've encountered something like this?
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say,
this is
have I seen something that kind of looks like this, like a familiar architecture sort of thing?
no. This is
Because I
not
would,
anything either any of you have personally seen or heard the Dabus do. From time to time, the Dabus will create a bridge or some other, structure that doesn't necessarily seem like it has a purpose. Um, at least nothing of utility. Uh, they have created buildings, although that's more rare. Most buildings are created by people and architects and go through a process of, planning and zoning and things like that. But from time to time, the Dabas have engaged in something like that. They've also engaged in uh, destruction, where they will break apart structures, bridges. Um, they have been known to destroy buildings, but usually those buildings are old or abandoned, and usually the process is slower so that if they are occupied, there is time for the occupants to get out of the way.
So how tall is this building?
3 to 4 stories.
And they're also building up.
Yes.
So as they build up, as we're watching them, I am going to reach inside a pouch and from his little space produce Kilfu. And I'm going to occupy his senses and have him fly in through one of the little windows
Hmm.
just to see. I'm curious as to whether or not the thing that people are screaming about is the fact that they're being walled in, which is understandable, or if there's some other problem. So you see me produce this little blue furred bat who takes off from my hand and flies up into one of the upper windows.
So through Kilfu's senses, uh, the thing that you notice is most people that notice Kilfu flying through the window, they are assuming that maybe it's a familiar or if it's something intelligent is trying to communicate or help. So they're starting with pleading and saying, please, can you get us out of here? Please save my children, or uh I don't want to be trapped in here. But you know, sometimes either by waiting and they kind of get the sense of, oh no, Kilfu is not some arcane magic savior. It's just a blue bat. They'll, kind of start talking among themselves, or you might fly into a window where they don't really notice Kilfu. The sense that you get from those people is just confusion and fear. They have no idea what's going on, um, why they've been trapped. Uh, you do see um, that some of the doors are open into the hallway, and Kilfu can go in through the door, and he would, through his senses, you would see that some of the occupants are kind of gathering, trying to talk about what the hell's going on. Uh, Asking people like, do you know what's happening? Why are we trapped? Um, Overall, you do not get a sense of them having any understanding of what's going on.
Hmm.
So I would pull him out and relay that to the group that there doesn't seem to be an external threat that is causing this, at least not in one that's obvious to the people inside the building.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not like they're also fighting an alien or zombie invasion within the building, uh, or there's some kind of
Because we
fast
wouldn't put it
spreading
past you.
illness. Yeah, yeah. There's no like fast spreading illness where people are suddenly bleeding out the eyes and they're scared about that and now being trapped in here. No, as far as you can tell, they are completely clueless as to what's going on. They want to get out. They're very scared and they're wondering what happens if they get trapped in here. Are they going to be able to have enough food? How long is food going to last? Is there anybody that is able to find a portal or find some means of getting out?
So would we be aware something that I don't know? Uh, do the Dabus or the Lady of Pain have the ability to break a portal? Or is their only option to like brick over it? Because if you were inside this building and they destroyed the portal, would that trap everybody inside as well without building a shell?
Give me an Arcana check to see, and anybody else that's trained in Arcana or history, if you have been a resident long enough of Sigil, you can use history.
Ugh. I mean, technically that's a 3, so if it's low, I did well.
I'm
Except
not seeing
that I
you
rolled.
roll.
Oh, I must be. Yeah, I was set to talk to me. Hold on, I'll re-roll. Okay, now I went high.
Yeah. I got low covered pretty well. We might be okay. That's if I roll with disadvantage, of course.
Um, so Utamat, that is uh good enough to recognize that your understanding of portals is that they are, at least the portals that exist within Sigil, are not architected. They're not created or destroyed in the sense of that's something that people can control. They simply exist as part of the geometry of space within Sigil and throughout the planes. There are individuals that can use magic to create portals to teleport, but they're not the same as the portals that Sigil is known for and used. Just in the same way that the overlapping spaces that make up the different apartments in a building, it's not like they can build the building and determine the number of coterminous spaces within. That is a part of the natural geometry of the space that they're building over. And they take that into consideration as they're going through the building process. So if it were a matter of creating or destroying a portal, that's not really something that you've understood as being possible. Doesn't mean it's not, but your understanding of the way portals work in Sigil is that's how that is. Additionally, the portal, well, it's not even necessarily portals within the apartments. Like I said, they're aspects and characteristics of the geometry. So the fact that all doors lead to the same space, uh, or to different spaces that are overlapped, um, that's it's not the same as the portals that get you from one place to another across Sigil or across the plains. Um, so it's not like there's a portal that might exist in a build. I mean, there are portals that exist in buildings from time to time. You didn't get that sense when Kilfu was going through the building, and if you talk to the crowd to try and gather information, you don't get the sense that there is some kind of like uh traveling portal that exists within the building. Is that kind of answering your question?
Yeah, though a follow-up related question would be if you had a building
Hmm.
and you just demolished it and there were people inside and it had one of those portal front doors, would they be trapped inside? Because I
No,
gathered from prior conversations that they would be.
if the building was destroyed while they were in it, their spaces would also be destroyed because their spaces exist as part of the building.
I see.
So it's not again when you're it's hard to kind of communicate because we're talking about something that doesn't actually exist in our understanding of three-dimensional space. but when you open a door using a specific key, the way of easily understanding it is saying that that's a portal, and that portal leads to this space, and then opening the door with a different key makes a portal that leads to this space, right? But that's not it. These spaces are actually physically overlapping with one another.
Mhm.
So it's not like that these buildings are just the facade and go to other places that may be spread across space that these kind of link to, as if you're crossing greater distance of space collapsed.
So then it's still sort of interesting that they're not knocking down the building, so they're not destroying the portals or the spaces. They're just encasing it in stone for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not interested in destroying these portals,
Or killing
just
the
in
people necessarily.
right, just in trapping everything inside. But they actually didn't care that the toddler got out. So it's not even trapping the people inside, it's something else.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to tune into, but
I would say with your Arcana check, I would, because it was so significant, I would give you a little bit more. Um, they allowed the child out. It doesn't mean that there's not a specific person they're trying to keep in, or that there is some particular quota of people that they need to contain within or want to contain within.
That's fair. I was imagining Uthermeth sees everyone inside that building as essentially a spherical cow. They are identical units.
every asset of equal value.
Right. So yeah, how long? I don't know how long it's going to take them to completely wall off this building. Like I would be if it's not going to be like days, then I probably would want to watch until the end to see if they like wrap it up in some fashion or if they're, once the shell is complete, they just figure they're done and walk away.
Um, so they are doing it very expeditiously. Probably in about 5 hours, they encase the entire building.
A 3-story building.
3 to 4 story building.
Yeah, so it's like at some point we go, we get lunch, we come back,
Right.
watch them
How did
continue
they get
to
the higher up
encase
stuff?
people.
Do they
What do
have
you mean?
like pulleys and winches?
I assume Dabus can float.
They can float, and they also can move things telekinetically.
Like tell yeah, okay. Yeah.
And yeah,
That's that
when I
part
say
I'm
encase,
super interested in. I want to
when
watch that.
when I say encase, they're also encasing the top with a similar
Yeah.
thickness and density. They're creating architecture so that it's reinforced where it doesn't crush in to the building, um, or create noticeable damage to the roof.
I was gonna say, is there like some gap between the roof and the stone at all? Or is it somehow rested on top of the building?
How would you get a vantage point to be able to tell the difference?
I ask Uthermeth to get a good eye on
Yeah, I mean, Kilfu
Yeah, yeah,
could
you could
fly up
fly
there.
up.
that.
I mean,
Unfortunately, my good friend Pal Rat here doesn't know how to fly. Yeah, whoosh. Go get him, boy. Don't get crushed. He just dies. Like, oh, fuck, man.
I
I
mean,
really like that guy.
When when Godot asks, yeah, I would send Kyofu up to watch how they're constructing the roof on this, whatever it is they're making,
Yeah,
coffer around this building.
it doesn't look like they're trying to shape the this barrier to the specific dimensions of the building. It seems like th- it's not like they're trying to hug the dimensions or keep things completely touching, contiguous with the building. Uh, it's just that they are sealing it up
Yeah,
to so that nothing can come in and out. And they're also it does seem like they're trying to maintain structural integrity so that it doesn't create any potential for collapse, either damage to the building or damage to the surrounding area if any of the structure were to break. They're trying to make it sound enough where that wouldn't happen.
got
So
it.
are they building it like in a vaulted way, like it's curved on top so that it can carry its own weight?
No, they're actually kind of making it more like a box.
So, I mean, I would convey that to Godot, that it doesn't seem as though they're not fitting it tightly to the shape of the building,
Hmm.
but it's also roughly rectangular in shape.
This is a very strange way to safely encase somebody.
Yes, it's curious. I cannot understand why they are so intent on merely walling this building up.
Yeah.
I assume it is in some way related to your vision, but I cannot quite connect the dots.
Yeah, I gotta sleep on it. I'll have a better understanding. We've been sitting here all day.
Oh, it's rare that you see this sight in Sigil. I wouldn't want to miss it. I mean, horrible. It's horrible what they're doing, but fa fas fascinating.
Like a train wreck.
Exactly.
Good catch, Ethan, man.
Who said that?
Very convincing.
I
So what do they do when they're done?
So there was a veritable army of them trying to get this constructed as quickly as possible. Once once they are finished, a few of them seem to be posted around the area of the building, and the rest of them leave.
And the Dabas who remain, are they focused on the structure, or are they watching to make sure no one messes with the structure?
Their attention is focused outward.
It seems like it's only a matter of time before someone inside comes to the front door and tries to batter their way through this wall.
mean, look at their it's like they're standing guard.
I think that's exactly what they're doing. So how thick was the wall? If I was inside, would I imagine it's hopeless to try to like tunnel out?
Yeah, it really is at least 4 feet of solid rock. They've used very large boulders to um, really make it as difficult as possible to get in or out. without very significant capacity for destruction. I mean, it looks like it's the structure that they created could survive being bombed.
It's got to be 6 foot, right? Otherwise, like pass wall would get through, wouldn't it? Or not, or whatever. There's like a one. There's one thing is like you do 5 foot.
Well, disintegrate is a 10-foot cube. Like eventually you can bypass it.
Yeah, yeah. Indeed.
Transmute rock to mud.
Yeah, but that's even though we were talking about Eberron being relatively low level, that even though in Planescape that kind of power is more achievable, it is still quite rare.
I guess whatever they're expecting isn't strong enough. They don't suspect it's strong enough to get through that stone wall.
Maybe we should.
I don't think we should stand so close, but I want to keep here for a little bit longer at least.
Maybe we should move on.
Dobrun is bored
Don't
after 6 hours.
I mean,
took a nap, dude.
Are we still here?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like we can move. Doesn't seem like we can really enter without incurring the lady's wrath, which none of us seem, especially you, Cadeau, seem want to do. Now that they're sealed inside and their guards, maybe we should continue to the task at hand, which is to find a way into another building.
That's true. This does seem somewhat unrelated to our case. I feel like we should give a discount to the client for the time we wasted here.
That is unnecessary. You can't give them a discount. We're the only people who could do what we're doing. You should be charging a premium.
This has nothing to do with the church, and that's what she paid us to investigate.
I am interested in whatever they've sealed inside, but it feels like this is not the place to figure out what that is or to find out.
It's too late, but I just figured out what we should do. We should have called Poundy McPounderson and sent him in.
Maybe
If he
next
died,
time.
he died.
I don't think you'd be that lucky.
If he got walled inside, that would be okay too. So I imagine it's like pushing to the end of the day now, at least the bulk of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to stay, Cadeau, we can, but it seems as though they are done with their task. They may stand guard for days for all we know, until the people inside have starved or dehydrated to death.
And if
Wow.
if everything is connected by nodes, then perhaps there's a way inside through this network.
Yeah, maybe. Possibly. We're
Something
talking
that,
about some
sorry.
intense stuff going on.
I mean, while we were waiting, now that I think about it a bit more, we could have like asked people in the crowd what precipitated all of this. If they just showed up at random or if something else was going on.
So talking to the people there, some of them are just bystanders that are just horrified at what has happened, or neighbors that saw this happening, and some of them came out worrying that their building would get caught up in it too. Others are people who just happen to be out doing shopping, running errands, being at work, and coming back, expecting to go home and essentially being locked out, and their family that still may have been inside getting trapped. Uh, Additionally, as you're kind of watching things wind down and the Dabus that are there kind of seemingly watching guard, you do have some of the individuals that seem to have been residents or worried about loved ones, like trying to approach, trying to like get to the building, and in each circumstance, the Dabus intercept them, holding up their hand, and if they attempt to try and continue forward, the Dabus use their telekinesis to throw them back. Doesn't seem like they're throwing them hard enough to necessarily hurt them, but hard enough to know that if they continue, that it might be bad for them.
But this is probably something we just have to come and check back on. I think maybe.
I think that is correct.
Where are we staying tonight?
But given that we've accomplished very little today other than buying clothes, we should probably stay at the inn again so that we can get an early start tomorrow. But there is still some time left in the day for us to do something.
All right. Let's see here. What's our to-do list here? What do we have?
Well,
I think the God.
top of mind is to get you into your investor meeting. I could always go for a drink.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much investor lingo, so I'm hoping to have you guys, or yes, you guys have got to come with me. You're like my consultants, right? Got to be.
I think basically once we find Cruigh Manathas, you pose as somebody who wants to buy real estate. You probably would be new to the city because he probably knows many of the people who are otherwise buying real estate. You are looking to establish yourself, and we are the ones who told you that the church might be a good investment property, but unfortunately, it is currently infested by the Athar,
Right.
and we haven't even been able to inspect it to see if you would be interested in buying it because the Athar have blocked us.
I like it.
I don't remember if we know how to find Cruigh Manathas.
So,
He likes to hang out at that one fucking place, don't he?
well, he has been known to hang out at the Gilded Angle.
Which I
Uh,
cannot get into because
right.
of the snooty doorway.
Um, Chaz
And
has not
where
had a chance.
I don't know if Dobrun is welcome back.
Chaz would be able to get in right away.
Dobrun is definitely not welcome back.
And none
He
of us
would,
can afford to buy a single drink.
Yeah.
Um, Let's see.
Maybe we wait outside the gilded angle and pretend like we're going in when he comes out, so that we don't have to buy a drink.
There's also the possibility of using subterfuge or bribery to try and get Cruigh Manathas's address from the Hall of Records.
That's all Chaz.
Yeah, as as an as an introvert, that feels very stressful to Udermath.
How dare we entertain the thought?
My gifts are in breaking down walls, the physical ones between us, not the emotional ones.
I have a literal spell that breaks down walls between us. It's not a nice one.
Are you trying to say I'm redundant?
No. You do the physical walls, I do the emotional ones.
Okay.
It's not a nice way to break down the walls, but that's why we do it on the things that we don't want. Like the walls in our way.
So Dobrun breaks down physical walls. Cadeau breaks down emotional walls.
Yeah.
Uthermeth breaks down metaphysical walls, and Chaz breaks down social walls.
By our powers combined,
You
we
are
have a
the wall
whole
breaker.
person.
And that's why we stood there and watched as the Dabus built a wall and did nothing. Oh, not that wall.
To be fair, nobody tried. I don't think anybody tried really to break the wall after they built it. Like while they were, I guess they were going up. Maybe while they were up, you could just start banging through if you had a powerful enough ability to do so. They might have. We don't know if they would have stopped you.
Well,
They probably would have.
Yeah, I mean, they were pushing people away telekinetically. I feel like if we just went up and started whacking at their wall with a hammer, they
Well,
would
now it's too.
have it.
Now it's too late.
even then they would have. Plus, wouldn't that anger the Lady of Pain? Isn't that kind of against what's common wisdom
And Cadeau's whole thing.
and Cadeau's whole thing?
Mhm.
Cadeau is what the slang of Sigil calls a simp for the Lady of Pain.
Listen, I never said I was going to go break in the walls. But if somebody else wants to try to break the wall, I would love to see what the Dabus do. I don't recommend anybody do it.
How did we find Cruigh Manathas the first time? Like, I know we met him on the street.
It was like just outside the Gilded Angle.
Yeah, we were leaving, I think.
After Dobrun got fleeced inside, unable to find him, we saw him outside.
It was just real poor timing too, because obviously he's a real rich dude. Dobrun's fucking pockets are turned inside out as he's walking down the road.
Yeah. Cadeau recently emerged from the sewer.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a rat.
Right.
Although Dobrun was not lighter of coin so much of his mojo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
His fleece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems to me that is still our best bet is to try to meet him outside the gilded angle, especially since I know I cannot get in.
I would highly recommend that nobody goes inside unless we suddenly become much richer than we are.
And Cadeau also was unable to get in last time. Chaz didn't try, but he might be able to get in. If he could get Cadeau in, Chaz might be able to get someone else to buy you drinks.
There's always the hall pass, which you can eventually get.
My understanding from what was said is that that also would be expensive, giving us even less money to buy drinks if we were to get inside.
There's no free lunch at the Gilded Angle.
Chaz, roll me a D100.
To see if he found a free lunch at the Gilded Angle card.
No, I just like I just imagine it's like, oh, you mean one of these passes? I can get you guys in. Get back, easy.
Yeah.
Yes. Chaz, you realize that you thought they were saying something else, but what the gilded gangle or bangle or whatever, you weren't really paying attention. You were more focused on like, the your hair and making sure that it was getting moisturized and everything well enough. But then you realize, wait a minute, I have one of those passes.
Oh, you meant the gilded angle. Yeah, bros. I got a pass there.
How did you get a pass?
He pulls out his lifetime membership golden pass.
Never expires.
What do you mean, bro? You mean they issue ones that expire? That doesn't make any sense.
See, I told you. See, I look at Uther Method. Yeah, I told you I knew the right guy for our jobs.
I refuse to enter. Even if I had a pass.
Does that let you get anybody in?
Yeah, bro. +1. Oh, that doesn't even have a number next to it, so I guess I'm good. Just says plus.
This is incredible.
Unfortunately, if we were to go in, people might expect us to buy something. And
They
from
most
Dobrun's
certain-
experience, we cannot.
They most certainly would. They would seat you at a table, give you a menu. Well, they don't even have menus, but they'd seat you at a table, expect you to order something, and then off you go. And
Yeah,
then
but
then
listen.
you're one step closer to losing your mojo.
We got Chaz now. We're probably okay.
I doubt even Chaz would get them
Check,
to
does that coupon
waive
say
the
free
fee.
drinks?
So Chaz notices he looks at the pass, and it says one free meal ticket with drink per month.
Drink and a meal. Look at that.
I think it's ambiguous. Sounds like one free meal with drink. So you buy drink, they give you free meal.
And Chaz, you're free to come up with how you managed to get that into your possession.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go back to the guild, the ubiquitous wayfarer while those shenanigans are going on.
Maybe Chaz can get your mojo back.
It's gone.
That's all Chaz is. That's, that's all Chaz is. You just got to be with Chaz for a little while. You get it back.
I have to admit, I am tempted to go with Dobrun. I'm not sure I want to be part of any club that wouldn't have me.
I mean, you think it's easier to get in once you've already been in?
Uh, no.
I I think it's harder to get in once you've already been in, ordered a drink, couldn't pay, and they throw you out.
Exactly.
To be fair, I don't think that they kicked you out. I think that it paid the debt, and they would welcome you back if you had something to pay with.
Yeah,
No.
they would of course welcome you back. You would be the first they would let you in immediately.
Well, if
Like,
you're
oh,
going
we got him once before.
if you're going to meet Cruigh Manathas there, then he might expect being treated somewhat. And
He
if you
would be
say,
expecting someone wealthy, wealthy
yeah,
enough to buy the church.
yes. So if you say, hey, Cruigh Manathas, here's a drink for my punch card. Also, isn't a great look. You need to be able to walk the walk.
I think I think if we go in there and say, "Hey, I'm so rich, I get a free meal every month, and I can come in anytime I want." Me, Chad, obviously. Well, I mean, I'm the one I guess it's doing the impersonation here.
Is
Well,
there a
I get a
name
free
on
meal.
is there a name on Chaz's ticket?
What do you say, Chaz? I'm gonna let
Hmm.
you decide what it looks like, how it functions, how you got
There
it.
is an embossed picture of Chaz on it.
Your alter ego. Anyway, just to let you know that it's not going to be cheap either way, even if you do get some drinks on the house.
And
I
I'm
agree.
glad Chaz doesn't have to pay, because if he had to give up his mojo and that's all he is,
They would never make him. No, I mean, I think I tend to agree. I don't know if I want to meet him in there. I would certainly be at a disadvantage. Got to catch him out on the street again.
that is what makes the most sense to me.
Well, we don't know where this bro lives.
If we want to go try and bribe people, we can maybe find out.
Bro, don't they have a big tome with everybody's name in it?
At the Hall of Records, they might.
Yeah, they're not just gonna just give us the information for free. I mean,
Probably cheaper than drink than trying to treat and be flashy with Manathas over at Gilded Angle.
really all we need is
Where'd you
just
say this was? This Hall of Records? Let me check, bro. I may have a card for there too.
yeah, it was like a free checkout. Like, yeah, library card type of thing.
I mean, that. Okay, let's see what you rolled.
An 80.
Oh. I mean, you guys have already been there, and Chaz has already made quite the impression on that one lady with
Yeah.
the beehive hair.
Perhaps we should find some more debts we can acquire.
But given your role, Chaz, I would allow you to have a contact that you are remembering that you can talk to at the Hall of Records and maybe ask a favor of.
Okay.
And just as a reminder, the Hall of Records is the headquarters of the Fated.
I mean, we could also find Cruigh Manathas presumably at the Harmonium headquarters since he is a member there.
Have we been there before?
No, we didn't go there, even after they arrested Elias.
Yeah, you guys have not gone to the barracks. And because there is the whole thing of who was seen and who might be currently being looked for regarding the whole incident outside of that bar outside the factory. But then there's also the murder of that one Athar, um the Athar guide.
Yeah,
Murder's a strong word, but you did kill
going into the
I was like, hold on, is that the one that
him.
got crushed on accident?
No. That's another guy.
Hmm.
going into the going into their headquarters seems like a risky move.
Yeah, I mean,
Unnecessarily risky.
was there any body there that could like identify us? Did anybody survive that fight?
Uh, most of them survived that fight.
Yeah, they ran off.
That's what it was after the head crushing.
No,
There was two died.
No, no,
you're
no, no.
confusing two
Oh, I
different
am.
types.
Yeah.
These
Okay.
were the guys who we went to the church and then they came after us. So we fought them
Right.
when Fisk was around, like briefly for one episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a very long time ago, but I do remember this.
That was outside like a different temple near the church that we're investigating.
Was that even
As
in the
opposed
same
to,
like district?
no, I don't think it was. Because the fight, it was essentially the fight with Elias's friends who were doomers. And so that was before we even took on this new mission to go investigate the church. And
Right.
it was while we were still looking for Elias that the cheeks of doom came down on that one guy.
Back when Dobrun had his mojo.
Yes.
thing then.
Maybe
Sure,
Do-
but what if-
Dobrun just
I
needs to
don't
spend a
even-
night with Trunfeld. Maybe that's what
Yeah,
how he would get his mojo
I don't
back.
even care anymore.
Like,
Uh,
you don't care if you get your mojo back, or you don't care if you have to spend a night with Trinfeld?
Yes.
I mean, this is
Because
great bargaining power. I'm just saying.
because Trinfeld's also good at finding information,
It's
and
true.
I think for a night with Dobrin, she might be able to, or at least we could ask her to arrange a meeting with Cruigh Manathas.
The one and only opportunity to not have to give her 10 G for any information. The one and only opportunity.
Oh,
We just got to use your dignity. It's all.
Right. We just have to pimp out our friend.
How much is it worth to you, really? Is it worth
10
10 G?
Jake, apparently.
yeah. Dignity worth quite a bit, but you know, he doesn't look too bad. She's passable.
Can you put up the picture of her again? Because I think Dobrin is forgetting what
Yes.
Trunfeld 3 teeth looks like.
She has more than 3 teeth. I vaguely remember.
I like to think that Uthermath has like a picture of her, and he's just like he pulls it out. Yeah, she's passable.
And there on her shoulder is Mitch.
Yeah, I would use minor illusion to remind him.
Yeah, he just seems like he's like gazing coolly at it. I don't think she's going to be able to help us with Cruigh Manathas.
On the plus side, if you count Mitch, you could tell people you finally had a threesome. Cross
That's a
that
bit
off your.
presumptive of Dobrin's past. I mean, he's got a trunk. He pulls in the ladies.
I thought he grew up like in a monastery,
Did.
learning about the path.
Oh
That's
yeah.
true. So still presumptuous. Who knows what the monks get
The,
up
o-
to?
the
Right.
only male in an all-female monastery.
You didn't know it was a sex cult, did you?
Yeah, it was a monastery. I believe that we called each other Cenobites.
Yeah, the monastery. It's like the library, like the bar.
Well, either way, I think we could probably. I think there's enough people in the world that we could maybe go to the what is it, the barracks, um, and look for Manathas without somebody recognizing us.
I mean, certainly Kido can go anywhere without being recognized.
Yep.
I can go anywhere for an hour with disguise self.
Bro, I count on people recognizing me. It's not good.
No, we need you, Chaz. Don't worry. Chaz, never change, buddy.
Yeah, Dobrin and Chaz are recognizable though.
I'm afraid I stick out like a sore thumb.
All right, bros, let's go there and find out what's going on. If they recognize me, which I hope they do, because then we'll just, see what's up.
It was just a minor scrape in a church in another district.
The bros just needed to step off and they didn't.
It was handled.
We don't know that they actually called on the Harmonium either. What is the relationship between the Athar and the Harmonium? I don't even know if they're on good terms.
Um, so I don't know that there is much in the way of a formal relationship. Uh, but with regards to this particular situation, uh, the Ithar are there because Cruigh Manathas is a higher up in the Harmonium. There were apparently disappearances of Harmonium individuals because as a reminder, there were disappearances with people in the church who were supposed to tear it down so that the property could be built upon. And then the Harmonium came in to investigate. There were a couple of additional uh, disappearances, which led to Cruigh Manathas using his weight to try and get this stuff addressed. And based on everything, the Athar became uh, mutual. They had mutually agreeable kind of goals. This was something that was in the Athar's wheelhouse and of interest, and they offered to be able to deal with it in exchange for being able to get access to the church. So,
So then remember, kiddo, all of this counts against the price. Don't pay too much. People disappear. You might not even be able to build the site up.
I I don't think we're going to actually buy the place. We just want to go there and examine it, right?
Yes, but you need to play the part. You need to play the role. So you should express concerns
Oh, no, for sure.
about the
That's why I
value
want
of
to
the
go
site.
to it. Yeah, got it. Got it. Well, I mean, at the moment, we don't have the fancy clothes yet, right? Weren't we told like 2 days?
oh yeah, there was they needed to be able to have time to actually put everything together with your measurements. So I do think it's going to be like 2 days.
Well, we can't go yet anyway. I say we should go find our client and try to get more information about her supposed threat of violence between the Athar and the signers,
Sure.
because that is not adding up and we have a little bit of time.
I agree. That seems like the best use of time.
So that's like a different district, right?
Yeah, I forget where we were supposed to meet up with her.
Let me look through my notes. Oh, so Sereth Valmora also did inform you that specifically there are in the church when there was demolition going on, there were hidden pillars within the walls. When the workers touched them, they vanished without a trace. And so that's where the disappearances came from. Um, let's see. All right, it doesn't say in my notes what she said about how to get back in touch with her, so I'll get that information to you guys. But I think it it is getting a bit late. Why don't we wrap it up here?
That's fine. I have to get up early anyway.
So, first session in a while, what are you guys' thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I'm starting to get into the mystery a bit more, although maybe that's because I was kind of forgetting the mystery. I don't know what the walling up of the building has to do with the actual job that we're on, but it seems like an interesting addition to whatever is happening.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't seem like it was something we could act on without drawing ire. So, it adds to the mystery. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Part of me was hoping that Dobrun would like bum rush the building to try to get people out, see what happens. I mean, presumably he would just be pushed back like everybody else.
Yeah.
But at least we would have seen like, is there a saving throw?
Might start as just a harmless toss, but
Right. Or it's like ordinarily you'd get a saving throw, but since you have no mojo, your save automatically fails.
Or succeeds. They have nothing to latch on to.
There you go.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, I feel like I'm a little more curious about what was wrong with the building that they needed to do that than I am about defeating the Athar, who, who probably, just don't want people going into a temple because they hate temples. And there's something vaguely magical about this temple. The last thing they need is for people to think there's something supernatural about this temple.
yeah.
But I figure they must have some longer term plan than just keep people out forever.
Yeah, this is one of those difficult things about being a DM. There's so much I want to reveal, but I need to keep it locked up.
I mean, maybe in a few days, week two, they'll be gone. The stone's still there. We could find a way inside. We'll loot the place.
And I
Um,
kind of do want to see Chaz make his way into the Gilded Angle to see what happens.
I was so stoked when you rolled 93.
Chaz walks in, and everybody's like, Chaz!
The Cheers theme is playing.
Right.
Um,
But that just plays anytime Chaz goes into a bar.
Sure.
yeah. Um, yeah, Chaz, you can totally decide what your relationship is with the Gilda angle, how you got that, whether you've ever gone, what you're, all of that.
That's a funny concept. He just like met the owner outside. And there's like, dude, I'm going to give you this. You come anytime you want. You've just never gone.
Um, also I was it was this was an interesting session for me because it was kind of like a door session where we just spend the entire session at a door, except this time it was a wall.
Right.
I, I went down small for a little bit there.
Hmm.
From my perspective, I was small.
Kurt, roll me another investigation check before we end.
Close my sheet. Hold on.
Sorry.
No problem.
Okay. I'm gonna send you a message later.
Okay. All right, everybody. Have a good night.
All
All
right,
right.
take care.
Good night, everybody.